Recently, Anambra governor's wife, Mrs. Frances Soludo, had a long-week interactive meeting with Anambra women under different social, political, religious, and pro-government groups. The meetings were held in batches and had wives of traditional rulers, community women leaders, state executive members of Christian Women Organization from Catholic Women's Organization, Pentecostal Fellowship of Nigeria, and Anglican Women's Organization in attendance. Others were wives of members of Anambra State House of Assembly, commissioners, transition committee chairmen, ABGA women leaders, and women from pro-government groups. The event, which began on the 2nd and ended on the 6th of August, was Mrs. Soludo's first official solo outing since the inauguration of her husband's administration in March this year. It was an important interface filled with engaging moments. The governor's wife, in her usual indeliberate humility and emotional receptiveness, brought each of the groups under one roof and ensured to take note of each woman's suggestion, appeal, and concern. That's not all. To avoid the formulaic political fervor that overruns such a gathering, Mrs. Soludo made a careful draft of each day's schedule and also invited experts who took the women through classroom-like sections on lucrative agriculture and how the women could maximize the existing potentials in the regenerative farming system.
What is it? Even the more I enjoy I say chocolate at farm. Now John take a chocolate. I am we need to change things.
It was in those sections that one of the experts, the National Coordinator of Coconut Producers, Processors and Marketers Association of Nigeria, Ambassador Mma Okoroji, opened the women's eyes to the huge global economic dividends of coconut value chain. That awareness is a follow-up to the coconut farming revolution that the current administration is championing. And with women occupying the largest percentage of farmers globally, it is expected that they would lead the line in this movement.
Agro is one that has the ability to transform the economy of every nation. The sticks in it is used to make tools big. The tree is a very strong wood. The horse, that is the outer part, can be used to make clothes, can be used to make mats. The marinas used for marine rope. The shell can be used for the activated carbon, which is very expensive product that is being exported outside the country. Can be used to make water for water purification. You don't need to buy coil or mosquito coil. Use the coconut husk and make sure and light it. No mosquito will be closer to the house.
While the Anambra State Commissioner for Agriculture, Mr. Foster Ihejiofor, and his team spoke about other existing agricultural opportunities and the right farming process, the Managing Director of Anambra Small Business Agency ASBA, Sir Clement Chukwuka, provided a picture of funding and support opportunities available for medium and small-scale entrepreneurs in Anambra State that the women can take advantage of.
The best and the most important person in supporting the human society is the farmer. And the women, we know that people make up more than 70% of the farmers we have in the rural communities. So, you are the most important segment of our society. The best and the most important person in supporting the human society is the farmer. And the women, we know that people make up more than 70% of the farmers we have in the rural communities. So, you are the most important segment of our society.
Mrs. Soludo, with strong help from the Commissioner for Women and Social Welfare, Mrs. Ife Obinabo, had a careful plan for each meeting to systematically move it away from the usual convergence of songs and merries and give the women something worth each minute spent. while urging them to go full-time organic in both what they consume and what they plant. The governor's wife also promised to help any Anambra female farmer with export support if the agricultural process passed the pure organic assessment.
So I'm asking, who can you that support? Especially, the company that is sweet and funny, get good sweater or of man, because it's all white dress in here. Or what is a police and need a friend well. If you are one my heavy kidnapping, men children abuse women, men children abuse women, men children man, need this support.
The aim, according to Mrs. Soludo, is to encourage the women to embrace healthy farming methods away from the fertilizer and other inorganic planting procedures that endanger health. Of course, the governor's wife did not let any opportunity pass on her hygiene and healthy living campaigns. She didn't just teach the women to embrace organic farming and healthy food consumption. She was emphatic with her message that if you don't understand, your body won't. This instructive nugget was to ask the women to question whatever goes into their mouth, both the production procedures and makeup of every product. This is because if a consumer doesn't understand what he or she takes down the stomach, the body as well won't. Being a long-practicing farmer, healthy living and hygiene expert, Mrs. Soludo was worried about the spate of diseases and deaths that are caused by unhealthy lifestyles, especially among women and children. The plan is to take the advocacy down to the grassroots and to ensure that every Anambra woman understands each bit of the message. The meeting, deliberately designed to herald this year's August meeting, was a platform to exchange ideological capital and give the women a closer and clearer vista to what to center their discourse on during the annual All-Women Convergence. Disturbed by the current wreckage of social norms and values in homes and society, Mrs. Soludo bared her worry to the women and asked them to take charge of their homes, not in detriment of roles, but as the heart and conscience of families and societies. She recalled their attention to the fast rising cases of domestic violence and abuse of women and children, rape, drug use among youths and children, and different forms of criminality, and warned that if women especially do not step up in their domestic responsibilities, there might not be any future left for both the current and the next generations.